let them soar. Alright, are we live?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Alright, if you want the link, I'll just send the link to you.
All right. Well,
Oh, we have an ad. Alex, we made it!
we made it. Jeez. Well, guys, we made a
Yeah,
very
essentially,
unsuccessful episode on Sunday, a couple days ago, and at the least, it it was just the recording process was awful, but our
oh,
conversations
that's
were
not
good.
good. That's not good. That's not good.
What happened?
Hey, can you delete the password? I had her Discord pulled up and the password was on it. But it's fine, it's too small. Just delete the password. I'll copy and paste it later. Just send it to me later. Tell me when it's deleted.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me.
I want my closer, homeboy. Alright, let's get ready.
Hold on, I'm gonna send it to your old Discord account. But yeah, basically, guys, our last episode, our first ever episode, it was basically just a
It was
first
just, it was
episode.
a cluster. It was a clusterfuck. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
We mainly just did it just to see what it was like, and
My program crashed halfway through, and we couldn't do much.
yeah, but luckily I started like very early in, so
Yeah.
but we just didn't get it all and didn't have much.
I'm running at 60 frames right now. I'm doing pretty good.
Mine's running at 30 frames, but like
You should watch the thing. Just to, it looks pretty good.
I. But what are we gonna do, Troy?
All right. So basically, I honestly think we need to study, and then let me pull up the questions that we had earlier. Where was that at? What was it called? I think we lost that group chat, but I honestly think I still have those things pulled up. So hold on. Yeah, I don't think I do. Of any? Oh wait, no, I do. Where is text? There you are.
Sorry if you guys can hear my dad in the background.
All right. So I'm gonna pull up the things that we were gonna be talking about right here on this page, and then we'll pull up Quizlet. Okay, so
Alrighty.
I guess I'll just repeat what we were talking about. This is not gonna be happy. And then also on my page on the picture, there's a number for the anti-suicide hotline. Also, there will be a link in the description for the YouTube video of the anti-suicide hotline. Phobia of the day is antilophobia, which is the fear of not being good enough, which is a lot of the fears that we have.
Oh, God, I can't even stress about how much, like, I just feel
Yeah.
that way.
Okay. So, I guess we're just gonna talk straight up about a devotion to begin with.
Yeah. Well, I get really devoted in a relationship, and it's hard for me to, like, especially in a breakup, like, I put so much time in, like, especially my most recent intense dating. We're just gonna call this woman Karen, and Karen and I, we were really intense, and it was just
Also, just a little FYI, we do usually have another person on the podcast with us, but he's currently at a function right now. Can't come with us.
Yeah, I'm Alex. My partner here is Troy.
Troy. Yeah.
But Tristan, he's not here today. He's out doing extracurricular activities. Yeah.
Dumb son of a bitch. Okay.
But yeah. Okay, so Karen,
Pretty fun.
I got really devoted into this girl, and like I knew that she wasn't a good girl. Like, she did all sorts of different things, and it's just, I got so devoted, and like all my friends were like, dude, you shouldn't be around this girl, dude. And my parents even told me, my sister told me, and it came to the point where we broke up once, and I'm like, I'm done with her. And then she came back, and me being the forgiving side of me, sometimes I can be a hard ass, and like Troy knows that.
Yeah, I do.
But me being the caring, forgiving guy I am, I was like, okay, we're giving this another shot. And a week into me giving her another shot, she cheated on me. And like, I devoted so much time into her, and like, I couldn't stand breaking up with her in the first place. Like, but the fact that like, I came back to her, she begged for me. Like, she begged for me to come back, literally. And I was like, I was at the point where I could say I literally love her, you know?
Yeah.
But it just killed me to break up with her again. But long story short, a week after we broke up, I was just heartbroken, and I dated this other chick, one of her best friends. What should we name her? You know?
Just, I honestly don't know.
Okay, well. And I broke up with her a week after because it just wasn't real. And but devotion is very hard for me. Because I get so devoted in a relationship, and once we break up, like, I long for that person so much because I got so devoted. Like, I can't just like use them then leave them, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so hard for me. But what about you, Troy?
Oh man, devotion is a tough one right now. I think it's also the fact that, like, me probably not wanting, like, anything to do with someone. It's funny, ironic, because I have a girlfriend, but I think it's also, like, the worriness of realizing that someone takes their time for me.
Oh yeah.
As hard as
like,
it sounds.
You don't feel good enough. Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't feel good enough for them, and that's another thing. That, like, this is just the whole. It's just the whole podcast in itself, but you just don't feel good enough for them, and that's another thing I forgot to touch base on. That, like, it's just hard for me to realize that maybe I am good enough, but I won't truly accept it, you know?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm also on Fortnite right now.
Jeez.
But it's just devotion. It's also, like, the fact of, like, realizing that someone takes their time for you. That someone also, like, just so happens to, like, love you that much to where they want to take the time for you. But also you don't want to be a burden to them, so you also don't want to take the time to be with them. Yeah. You know, as jumbled of words as I just produced there, someone out there would probably get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hard to explain, really. It's just, like, a situation where you're just sitting there and you're like, wow, this person actually cares for me, but I don't want them to care for me.
Because you just don't want to break them, because you
gives me anxiety. That's all it does.
Whenever...
And it's funny because I'm in a relationship right now.
Hey, Troy. Just saying, it shows your Google tab, and, like, it's kind of trippy because it shows the Twitch stream and the...
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's like that almost echo effect.
I just wanted to make sure that it was doing everything correctly.
Yeah.
Oh boy, might cop this glider. Sorry. This is gonna be a sad podcast, but I'm gonna lighten the mood just a tad.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess that's all I really have to say in that section. How about you?
Well, there's just a lot in that section. Like, especially after, I'm gonna talk about even after I get out of a relationship, like, devotion is hard to just go on to another person, you know? Like,
yeah,
as soon as I get done with a relationship, it's like devoting my time to another person. It just feels so strange because they're not the person that you were just with, you know?
yeah, and I know what you mean by that. It's kind of trippy to think about.
Like, you're off loving on this other person, but if you still have feelings for the same person, for your ex, it's just kind of hard to love the other person, you know? If you know what I'm saying? Or even if you don't have feelings for your ex anymore, it just feels weird after you've spent all this time with your ex, and then you're just like, and then you're on to another girl. Like, you may love the girl a lot, but it just feels weird that, you know.
I know what you mean.
And that's what happened to the girl after Karen, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason why I broke up with her. But yeah.
I'm gonna disable my views right now just so I can have something. We'll just delete it for right now. Actually, no, we won't. Let's move it. Yeah.
Hey, Troy, can you send me over the list of things that we're going to talk about since you're doing stuff? And
yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Second one, I guess, is love. Speaking of which.
Oof. Love.
Love is a funny thing. It's something that will break you and make you at the same time.
It's the most fucked up drug of all time.
Yeah, it's really one of those things that none of us can really get enough of if you think about it. I think it's also the fact of, like, me sitting here and, like, because, like, I'm dating. I'm currently in a relationship right now, and it's, like, still tripping me to think that someone actually cares about me that much to the point to where they want to talk to me constantly. As stupid as that sounds.
It almost feels like, it almost makes me feel like maybe they don't, you know? And
yeah.
Like, I don't know. But love. Love.
Freaking weird.
But, hold on. So we're just gonna say this random girl's name. Her name's gonna be Rayleigh. And, Troy, it's about the same girl that, you know, Gibbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rayleigh.
Or, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, Rayleigh, after Karen, I had a deep love for this one girl. And I put every moment, like, if she were to text me, like, that second, I would respond. Because I don't want to, it really was obsession at that point, you know? But, like, in a good way. Like, not in a creepy way, but, like, I loved the girl. And like I said in our Fail podcast, like, she made me believe that she loved me, like, the same way that I did. Like, one time I strained one of my back muscles after football practice in a very hard day, heat of just wrath of summer. And it was actually in Coach Carell's station, which is funny because we're studying for a test for him.
Yeah, I'm just totally studying right now.
Yeah, but she just came over. She came over and she just stayed with me for like 3 hours. And there was times where she would just like come over to my house just to see me. And I'm just like, maybe she does feel the same way. But in the end, it felt more like, no. But that,
no.
And there's very many parts of love. It's either they love you as a friend, or they love you. And that's it's one of the hardest things to differ, like, especially if like you're not like dating them and you want to date them. It's just one of the hardest things to tell the difference from, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't know.
I get what you're saying, kind of, in a way. In a sense, to the point where you're just...
Like...
Yeah.
You want to ask them out. Like, one day you feel like they love you in the way that you love them. But then another day you feel like they love you as a friend. Like, not as...
Yeah, it's just like, it's like self-doubt a lot. And it's so weird because, like, I apparently, like going back and telling people that I liked them at this point and realizing, oh, yeah, no, I liked you at this point, too. And it's realizing how many possible relationships I had as well. Like, how many possible relationships I could have had.
6th grade, there were so many girls that liked me.
Yeah, I know.
And, like...
It's trippy.
I have a lot of self-doubt. Like... I have a lot of self-doubt. Like, I feel like I'm literally the fattest kid in our grade, and I feel like my face is the ugliest, you know what I'm saying? But, like, in reality, yeah, I may have a little bit of weight, but, like, I'm not awful, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm never gonna legitimately tell myself that and think it more than, like, a 30-second period, you know?
Yeah.
Because... in plain sight, just the things that I do, and like the things that I say, and like just all the crap I do just to get a laugh out of my friends, it makes me look like I'm not insecure. But I am a really insecure person.
I really like the same way. I honestly just joke around a lot, and it's mostly just because I'm too scared to confront my own feelings.
Yeah. I get you, Troy.
Yeah. Try not to get distracted and play at the same time. It's kind of hard. But I care about the podcast more.
Yeah. But, like, it's just hard for me to, like...
Oh, my lord. Save. Oh,
I don't know.
Thank you. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Loving someone and believing that they love you the same way is hard for me.
It is really difficult for me as well. Like, whenever I got asked out, I was really, really shocked by the fact that she asked me out.
Oh.
Like, you don't even know.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Another topic of love, and and I'm just gonna bring up my mom because it's something to talk about, you know?
Yeah, why not?
But, like, everyone says to me that, like, my mom is a messed up person, and we could go off in another podcast to make this, but I'm not gonna go and say all the details in this one.
Alright, well, screw that kid, he can kill himself. Sorry, speaking of which, suicide hotline right there.
Troy, listen, we are...
Okay, sorry. I'm back.
But
back in the game now.
But, basically, my mom...
Monkey.
A lot of people say that she loves me, like... I've been to a psychologist over my mom because she's put me in so much emotional distress, and did I tell you that, like, she was, like, literally beating me the other day, Troy?
No, you don't.
Yeah, well, that happened.
That's awesome.
But I didn't, and we can go to this a different day, but basically we went to a lawyer, and they said they can't do anything about it because we don't have any proof. But... my mom has put me in so much emotional distress that it's like, dang, she really did that. And like at this point in my life, I'm like, people say that she loves me, and like I'm like, no, she doesn't, because actions speak a whole lot louder than words. And love love to people like her think it's a noun. They think it's just something you say. It's like, but in all reality, love is a verb. It's an action. You show someone that you love them, and that will make them feel loved. You can't just say that you love them, or else, you know, you can't just say that, because you can't. It's, you know.
Yeah.
Because whenever you say that you love someone, they might feel it for a second, but showing it to them will be it's just a whole different ballpark. And love is
Fucking love.
it. The amount of stress someone puts on someone, and they say that you love them, like every other weekend. Not anymore, but every other weekend. I prepare myself, like, from Monday to Friday, the moment I have to go to my mom's house. I have to prepare myself that I'm gonna have a very stressful weekend, and that I need to be emotionally ready for this. And I'm like, okay, come Friday, it's gonna be my living virtual hell. But whenever my mom, this most recent, whenever my mom would pick me up, I could relate the feeling in my body, how it would feel worse than getting attacked by a shark.
So you telling me you've been attacked by a shark?
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then for her
I'm trying not to feel distant from this podcast, but I'm also trying to study at the same time. But yeah, I'm paying attention, I promise.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to manage the my OBS crashed in that time, and I had to recover it before the live stream stopped.
Oh.
So I was having a panic attack while you were over here.
But for someone to say that she loves me after all the stuff that she does, and like, she knows that I don't love her, but for her to say that she loves me after she knows all the stuff that she does to me, that's not love. You know?
Yeah. Okay, well, that was fun. Alright. We've already covered this one. We'll talk about being treated. Seeing being treated? By that, I mean, basically, you go with this other person that treats them like dirt, whenever you know in reality that you love them enough that you treat them correctly, and that person that took them does not deserve it. Basically what I mean for that.
Ooh.
Essentially. But, anybody can relate to that. It'd be good.
Rayleigh, you know.
Yeah. I think I know who Rayleigh is.
Hold on. Is there any way that I can show you? Hold on. I'm just gonna text you. But basically, Rayleigh,
I'm sorry.
Gosh, sorry. But Rayleigh, she...
Gotcha.
I've seen, over the summer, I've seen so many, like, people that have just mistreated her, and, like, a boyfriend that made her in so much distress, and like that just broke up with her out of the blue, and like she cares about that stuff, but at the same time I'm not really friends with her anymore because I kind of figured out a lot of stuff about her and a whole lot of, you know. But I felt so much that like I would be a better person for her because I am a lot more wise than her in just actions and the things that she does. And I thought about, from our last podcast, I said I can't date anyone that's more fucked up than me, but now that I think of it, that's the people that I aim for, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's bad because it really is.
Yeah.
For instance, I went after Rayleigh the whole summer, and I fell for her every moment I talked to her, and I would send her these long paragraphs about how she deserved more than what she had, and it was just, but like I said before, like, if I would have shot my shot at the correct time, no doubt in my mind, I would be dating her, you know?
Yeah.
But now I get to see her in the corner of my eye because she's not really in my life anymore. Just in the corner of my eye, being treated horribly. And the people who are treating her horribly is getting her even more messed up than she already is. And I just think to myself, I would have made that a lot better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I could have resolved that in all reality.
We've been live for 27 minutes.
Yeah. It says that for me too. That I've been recording for 27 minutes. Practically the YouTube channel, which on my side, I'm just recording, is practically just is the recorded version of the live stream on YouTube. So there's not gonna, unless we actually start paying attention, and if you guys really, and what I mean by really, you guys are gonna really want editing, then you'll give you guys some editing, but you know. Speaking of, I just saw some music go on the live stream. I'm gonna put some music on my own.
Yeah, I'm just playing music. Why not?
But yeah, what about you, Troy? Seeing people.
Oh man. Okay. So basically, see being treated. This is gonna be a long one. It might not be. Basically, all I gotta say is I've been in enough situations where seeing being treated is just kind of one of those things at that point to where I've been through so many times. That's why I don't fall in love as easy anymore. That's why I don't like as many people. That's why I take my step. Because that's happened with, it's happened with this one girl before, and I liked her so much, and she was like my best friends in one of my cooking classes, and we would always talk and flirt and shit, and then she'd always go to this one guy, and he was so disrespectful, and he hit her at one point from what I remember, and gave her a bloody nose, but she still stayed with him, and I'm just sitting over here I know I am the one for you, and I know that I would treat you more correctly than this man that is beating you over here. I don't know, it just also scares me at that fact, and then now she's back with this one guy, and this guy is apparently supposed to be a bad person too, but I'm not going to judge right off the bat. But she was also the one that asked me to homecoming and then deadlifted me and rejected me for homecoming. Right after she asked me to homecoming and changed her mind. So that also hurt a little bit. And it's still, I'm sitting over here while she's going with all these people. And I'm sitting over here just seeing her going with all these bad people, getting abused and getting hit and getting messed up and getting back into drugs like she was. And, you know, getting hurt and losing friends just for this one man. And I'm in the relationship I am. I am the jealous type, but I'm trying to fix that. God damn it, Despacito started playing.
Well, what do you think about your current girlfriend?
My current girlfriend's a great person. I'm very glad that we're dating. We argue from time to time, but that's normal. It's fine. At least we keep it and we share everything with each other. And I know she's an honest, she's an honest person, and she hangs out with like 2 or 3 guy friends. And and they took a picture the other day, and I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking furious at the fact that she took pictures with other guys, but it's also just like my jealousy kicking in.
Well,
it's because I've been cheated on twice before, and it's also the factor of my trust availability, and my trust factor going down that way.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking a question?
Yes.
If this one girl that you are seeing being treated very wrongly were to ask you out, would you dump your girlfriend?
See, I probably wouldn't at this point, because if she's going with all these bad people, she's probably messed herself up enough to where she needs to come back to me. And she's already given this shot, and this is gonna be completely honest, 100% from the bottom of my heart. I like the girl that I'm dating right now. We argue a lot. She's very weird, very extra though. And many people like me, and me breaking up and getting with another girl is a possibility. I don't want to come off as a player by doing that, but I probably won't anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well,
it's just hard to explain. I mean, everybody's probably in that situation where they date somebody, and then the second that happens, 30 other people you find out like them, like you or something.
Yeah.
You're just like, dang, that's pretty sad. I could have probably dated someone that's possibly even a better person.
I'm going to start throwing out names here, and I don't think these people are going to mind. It's not really a privacy issue. But you remember Kaylee and I, right? You know. Well, after that, which I was a horrible boyfriend, and if she ever comes along this, like, I'm truly sorry about that. I wasted 4 or 5 months, however long it was, of your life, and I'm sorry about that. And the fact that you liked me after that, no clue. But
okay, so this is a bad time, but I gotta grab food.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave you with the people.
Okay, I'm just gonna explain that.
Yeah, I guess you will. Okay, I'll be right back, guys.
Alright, guys, well.
Mute myself.
It was a time in my life where I was very depressed, and this is a stage in my life where my mom really just started kicking in, and I realized it's a time in my life where I really realized who my mom is, and the type of personality she is, and to even go into that, like, she is she doesn't know anything else but herself. Like, she can't put herself in other people's shoes. She can only think about herself. And she is incapable of loving nor caring. And it crushes my heart, because at one point I wanted a relationship with my mom. And I was in dire need of that, because I was just in a bad spot because of her. But this was in 6th grade, and I was dating this very kind girl named Kaylee at the time, and I treated her very wrongly, and I just want to come back and say that, like Troy was saying, figuring out very many other people like me. After that, we dated for like 4 months, and it was at a stage in my life, like I've said, there was times where I didn't talk to her for maybe 2 weeks even, and in defense of me, which I shouldn't be doing, I didn't want to ruin it because I knew what I'd lose. But she ended up, I remember it so clearly, she ended up coming up to me and saying, we probably need to break up. But as soon as that happened, three other girls came up to me and they're like, I like you. I'm like, what? And it just fathomed me because I had a crush on most of these girls before Kaylee. And yeah. But while Troy is gone, I guess we can talk about something else. So, we can just talk about my mom because that's the most recent thing that's popped up in my mind. Basically, what has been going on is that my mom is taking a quote break right now from our relationship, and I am enjoying it a lot but it feels weird. It's like a whole part of me is absent from my life. And it's a good absence, but it feels weird because I had to prepare myself at the beginning of every week that I was about to go over there. This weekend is going to be hell on earth for me to deal with. And without this, it's just a whole part of me is gone and I don't have that stress anymore. But it's almost like my body almost wants to prepare for that stress, which is really almost bad. But I don't know. So, in the end, we're just taking a break, and for how long? I don't know. And that's what I was saying earlier. Don't really have to worry about it now. But my mom is a very interesting person, and my dad asked me last night, and it was after my football game, which we sadly lost against they're right now undefeated, and our team isn't doing too well. So I was just kind of sad and mad at the same time. But my dad asked me after that game, if your mom were to if your mom were to never ask you again, or she would never reach out again, when would you come to a point where you were to reach out? And I flat out told my dad, the moment that I never have to see her again. And my reason for this is I want to reach out to her again. Not only because it's just the morally right thing to do, but because I couldn't live with myself if I didn't tell her why I wanted to just never see her again. And it's with her in my life, right now, it just fathoms me that she would even come back, because at a very young age, I was like almost 2, I think. She left me until I was 6 or 7. And but whenever she came back, she expected a whole lot of just straight respect as a mom, and I always thought my stepmom, who I now call mom all the time, was my mom. And right now, I believe that my stepmom is my mom. But I just lost my train of thought. But basically, my mom I I don't believe she's my mom. She will. She just causes so much emotional distress to the point where it's surreal. And I wish it wasn't. I really do. But it's it's just a very bad situation, and my the thought of her coming back and having her in my life was gone the moment that she decided to slap me across the face and practically wrestle with me. And you guys haven't seen me, but I'm a pretty large dude, and in muscle, and I have some fat, yeah, but I'm a pretty large dude in muscle. And
Flexing.
yeah, I am flexing, Troy. But basically,
Trisha might get on later, by the way.
I would call my mom and tell her the exact reasons why she's never going to be a part of my life again, because she has done this, this, and this, and I could go on and on and on about why I never want her in my life again. And for me to say to people that I never tried to have a relationship, that would look very bad on me, but that wasn't the case. I tried, but she won't do it. It's always going to be on her terms. And that's all I have to say for now, Troy, about my mom, because we ain't going to spoil the rest. So what's next? Well, let me pull up Discord.
Hey, what were you just on?
Well, I just went off into a whole topic about my mom because I didn't want to go on. I didn't want to go on with anything about that, something that we needed you here for.
Okay.
What? Drugs, okay. Well, I gotta say, I plan to never do drugs, never do anything in my life, because I know the effects that it has in long term, and
Really fucking ironic.
probably not, because both of my brothers did, and my grandpa's a drug psychologist, and my mom used to do drugs, and it was bad, very bad. But what about you, Troy? Troy.
Hold on.
Alrighty, well, Troy's being
Okay.
an autistic. Okay.
I just got titty pics.
My bad.
My bad, too. Snap. Okay, well, Homeboy is about to be honest with you. I do a lot of drugs. I am a drug addict. I do not want to be. I am happier whenever I am in a reality full of drugs. Drugs I do, or drugs I've done. I currently smoke weed. I've done LSD.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry, guys. My dad's being an autistic fuck.
You know, I've done cocaine, meth. I'm just kidding. But I don't know.
Have you really?
It's probably just. I've never done meth.
No, Troy. Cocaine.
Oh, maybe. I took a little sniff off one friend's jacket before. But anyways, don't do that. I quit the second that happened.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you, Troy. I don't support that at all. Like, I don't support smoking weed, but I'd rather you do that than like smoke a cigarette, to be completely honest. And like that's like the mildest drug it gets, you know.
Yeah. Um. You know, I always say we just chill, but you have to remember also that it's the gateway to every drug.
And that's the problem. Like I want to keep myself around people who
I'm currently going to start attending AA meetings.
AA.
Or
What's
not
that?
not Alcohol Anonymous, but DA meetings or some Drugs Anonymous.
Okay. Which
So that would help me.
is probably good, but I don't support the things that you necessarily do.
I do a lot of stuff. I'm addicted. Speaking of which, addiction. Go right into that one. I also am an active Juul user. I'm addicted to nicotine. That's crazy. I don't ever do that thinking it's cool or anything until I thought, no, I'm just craving for nicotine all the time.
Which, that's the reason why I don't do it. And, like, to think about it, when in the long run, whenever we are maybe trying to start our life and we already have those addictions develop whenever we're young, it's going to take a lot out of our pocket.
Yeah.
And
my mom is one of the most financially well-paired people. Yeah. But we always have money struggles here and there because how much she smokes. Cigarettes, not weed.
And that's really unfortunate for you, and I feel bad. But not even just financial, but like in high school, if you and I still want to do football, they're gonna do unplanned, like they're gonna do a not like random drug test next year. And
yeah, that's why I'm quitting.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm gonna quit. Not football, drugs.
I was about to flip out. But
hey, Alex's desk flip in the background. Just
what happened?
Oh god.
I would have probably freaking started grasping things and shoving it out the window, just break the window. But yeah. So, is that really all on drugs?
I guess so.
Addiction is next.
I already just went into addiction. I said I was addicted to.
Well, just indirect
we can talk about
addictions, like.
I have to buy it.
Well, not like even drug addictions, just like everyday addictions, like.
Well, tell me your addictions, Alex.
Even freaking porn.
I have some really bad ones that I'm gonna put up there.
Like masturbating. That's.
Well, it's also a fact of. Anytime I see someone really nice looking in the hallway, I always really just have the imaginary thought of slamming them against the desk and proceeding to fuck them.
I kid you not. There's been every single freaking thick girl in our school.
Especially U.S. history class.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ, that.
We got some thickies in our history class.
That history class has the finest ass I've ever seen in person. Like. Whew. Wait, Troy. Why don't you just send me on Discord? But even just like habits, like just like even if I know the person, like a girl's ass is flat, I just have to look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a habit, and it's something I want to face.
I really do too, because it's a bad habit. Because like if someone catches you, it's just like, Well, dang.
There.
And I don't know. It makes me. But like at the same time, looking at ass is the single best thing in the world. But it comes to the point where like you just start judging girls by their fucking butthole.
Jesus.
I don't know. Is that just me?
Yeah. Just you.
But like at the
And
same
another
time,
addiction is probably the addiction of finished.
what?
Wanting to just it's about to get really sad. The addiction of just wanting to go home and put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger as many times as I could before I get out. Because, like, I don't know, I always think of suicide thoughts. I'm not really that depressive a person, but suicide still flows through me. It's also, like, my natural depression that helps a lot. Apparently we have 2 extra viewers watching. If you guys have questions, just feel free to ask.
I think I'm one of them.
Okay, well, there's one extra guy watching. If you got a question, my bro, you can ask.
But depression and suicide, and
Oh, now we have 1 person watching. Okay, well, fuck.
Depression and suicide, it's nothing to joke around about. Like, there's been so many times where I'm just like,
I feel like if you're a depressed as a person,
you
make
need
sure you always confront yourself at being depressed before you ever want to go get help. Make sure you know that you're depressed and you can confront yourself at being depressed.
Well, even at that, like, you just need to, you really need to, if you're having suicidal thoughts, like, it sounds very cringy and generical, but call the suicide prevention hotline.
Yeah, I've had to call that before, and it's actually way more fun than things.
There's no guarantee of it helping, but it will give you comfort, and that's really it. Because just someone being there for you, knowing that they're listening, it's, just someone being there. It might sound, yet again, generical, cringy, and basic, but it's one of the things that help.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. But that's just an automatic things going to depression. I have that feeling too. And the feeling of nothing is gonna be okay. Like, everything's downhill from here. And I'm gonna be completely real right now. Ever since I started dating Cody oh fuck.
That's fine. Odie?
Sorry, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
Right. But ever since I started dating that one girl, at the beginning of the summer, from that point on, I've just been...
Are you guys still dating?
No.
Okay, making sure. I saw her making out with the dude in the hallway today.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, no, do you remember her making out with people in, like, the band room and stuff after school in 7th grade?
Yep.
That's the same guy.
Neat.
But ever since I started dating that one girl, I just haven't been the same. Like, I've been very depressed. Like, even to think back to last year football, like, I was so much more happy. I was happier beyond belief. And like I just been thinking like I'm in high school right now, 4 years until my life I'm on my own.
You're put on to the line.
And I'm just thinking, what happened? I'm still a child, you know? And like, whenever you like see me, like if I'm just like in the beginning of like US history or like even at the beginning of football, like I just like don't really want to talk to anyone. I'm just thinking like how good my life was until now, you know? Like that's the main thought. And that's a horrible habit because I'm still in high school. Like this should be some of the best times of my life, but right now, the start of it, it ain't the best.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. What about you?
What we're talking about? Okay. Wait, hold on. Addiction?
A whole just habits and addiction and you know everything.
Man, habits. Habits I have. I don't even know. It's hard to explain.
It really is.
I gotta think. Probably just like the addiction of liking anybody and thinking everybody likes me the second they glance at me.
Oh my god. That. Like,
in the world tour, if I'm
but like, I had that habit / addiction of feeling that, but like, even this one girl who keeps on posting me on her story and like she freaking giggles at everything I do and say, like, I feel like she doesn't like me, you know? You know what? You know who I'm talking about, you know?
Yup.
But like, I don't feel like she likes me at all.
Yeah. I kind of feel where you're coming from. Another habit I can have at times. Oh, that's a tough one. Probably moving too fast.
Oh.
In like a relationship or a friendship, say. I'm a really fast mover in relationships. I want to fuck them like the second week of dating somebody.
Dude. That's me in most cases, to be honest. Like, it's hard to, like, I try to not think of girls in like a sexual way until, you know, there's a point where it's like okay, but like just maybe the moment we start dating, I'm clapping cheeks.
Yeah. And it's also that girl that I'm dating right now currently is
yeah.
How do I say this? She's been wanting to smash people for like a good while and just hasn't gotten around to it yet. So I know that I'm gonna have a chance at one point, but not now. I need to keep that in my head that in first date I'm not gonna try to smash, right?
Mhm. Yeah. That's. Hold on. Speaking of, what do you think about nudes? When is it an appropriate time to ask for nudes, in your opinion?
1 month.
1 month?
1 good month. Actually, no, I'll ask her right now.
That's understandable. But, like, I think that's the mature level. Like, that's in maturity. But in all reality, like, freaking the moment, like I was saying, the moment we start dating, like, occasionally both participants in the relationship just automatically think clapping cheeks is happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My motivation level right now is at a solid 0. Like, I'm good at football. Like, people Like I think I'm one of the best linemen on the team, you know?
Yeah.
Whenever I'm motivated to do it. But right now, I have next to zero motivation because I just my life right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But football is something I dearly love in my heart. Like, I love the sport. I love the adrenaline. I love the team. But it's just, I have no motivation for it.
Yeah, it's also motivation, like getting it, like, today, you and me went up to do our drills, and we hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
I tried hitting pretty hard, right?
Yeah, I hit to the point where I fell. You saw
Yeah,
that.
we knocked the kid on his ass, yeah? And that kind of gave me a little bit of boost energy for the rest of the practice. A lot of practices, I just feel like I should be there because I don't play as much. And it's also the fact of my brain needing to tell itself, yeah, you're new to this team. You should probably get used to it. Coach Blackburn and Coach Peterson and Coach Buckley are not going to have you.
Well, that's how I was last year because I had played the sport before, but never at Cherokee because I just, And last year, I want you to play this year and then do the summer training and stuff, and I want you to just play next year as well, at least, just for me, okay? Because this year, especially over the summer, football gave me that energy again. That I was like, I want to do this. And like right now, me imagining it, I'm getting that energy. But I had an urge just every night. Like I'm gonna go to bed. I wanted to go to bed early so that I could be prepared for football. I wanted to wake up early so I could grind for 4 hours straight of conditioning and weightlifting. And I just thought that was such a great idea. But now I wake up to go to school and I just stress about football afterwards. And that sounds really weird, but I do,
Yeah.
What about you? Well, I guess you did kind of just say, but...
Oh, man, I don't even know.
The world's a tough place. And I think it's just as tough for a teenager. And, teenagers going, from mid-20s. I think that's the roughest time in anyone's life,
Yeah.
Because I'm still a teenager, but I'm just thinking this is the roughest time in anyone's life. You're finding out the type of people you like. You're finding out the people you may even marry. The getting in high school, college, and finding out what you want to do and what your job's gonna be, and trying to make it out there in the world. And I feel like that's very stressful, and that's what's really causing me a lot of stress. And I really want to do well in school, but part of me is just like, but I know it's important, is the sad part.
Yeah.
But I want to do it, but the motivation of me it's very minute. It's very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's just a habit of mine, just to think that I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for the world. And that's really, really nice to think about, because our podcast is about not being good enough, and talking about this makes me feel better, because, Well, do we want to end it here, or do we want to do our last topic?
I
Or
don't know. Oh shit. I don't know. I'm gonna pull up my Instagram real quick.
well, guys, we might keep the stream going for just a little bit longer, but I think I'm gonna stop the recording right here. It just hit over.
And this should encourage you guys to be on the stream a little bit more. Just because you guys get a little bit more of the podcast.
We're gonna stay on the stream just a little bit longer, talk about some stuff, maybe just a little something. But thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for listening about over an hour of me and Troy ranting about our life problems, and I enjoy that you guys came, and I'm Alex, and I'm signing off.